Hello. And I'm going to talk a little bit about trusting God. So when I was at the end of my 8th grade semester, my dad had had cancer. He had gotten over cancer. And I was lonely. The entire time that my dad had cancer, I realized that I didn't have a bunch of like super close friends, you know. I didn't have a bunch of people that I could really turn to and talk to and depend on, because all of these people at like my church would come up to me and would be like, how's your dad? How's your mom handling this? How's your little brother? And I was like, what about me? How am I doing? Because I'm really not doing that good. And it just made me realize that I didn't have a bunch of like people that I could truly like go to and depend on. And I was like, I need that person. I need that person that I can talk to and depend on. And I had gone to God in prayer and asked him to heal my dad, and I was still really close with the Lord, but for some reason it wasn't dawning on me. Okay, so I needed that person that I could go to talk to. So I tried out Elevate. You know, I walk in on the first night and Pastor David's talking about sharing the gospel, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have never heard about this before. Why has nobody ever told me that you could share the gospel with somebody? So I'm listening and I'm realizing that this is good. This is stuff that I need. You know, this is a place that I need to be. So I told my parents I wanted to stay at Elevate. It made sense to me to stay at Elevate. So I stayed. I got to know a little bit more about, you know, the people there. I made some really close friendships, obviously. As you guys probably can tell by now that I've made good friendships with the people at Elevate. But I had gotten so used to this idea that I needed a person. So, you know, it hits again. My dad has cancer for a second time, and I've got all this support system now. I've got all of these people that like I can depend on and who are asking me how I'm doing and are making sure that I'm okay every single day. And I realized that that's not what I needed the first time. You know, it was so much easier to go through the second time because I had this whole group of people supporting me, but it wasn't what I needed. What I needed was God. I needed to talk to God about it. I needed to be dependent on God, because no person is ever going to be this strong, independent, amazing person that I can lean on. There's some great people in my life that have given me so much advice and so much love, but that is not, at the end of the day, the thing that I can depend on, because people are not perfect. God is. So what I was looking for the entire first time that my dad had cancer was a strong relationship with the Lord. And by the time that I got to the second one, I had this whole support group. I had a great group at Elevate, but I also, through going to Elevate, had put my faith in God completely, gotten baptized, and decided that I wanted to live every day for God. So by the time that I was dealing with my dad having cancer the second time, I realized that I just needed a strong relationship with the Lord, and I had that, and it made it so much easier for me because I had God. And so a few verses that, well, I'm just going to share one. Proverbs 18:10 says, "And the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and are safe." And it's just so important to remember that God is strong and that we are not. We can't always be this strong, amazing person. So running to God in times of need is acceptable and perfect, because God does not ask us to be perfect. He just asks us to rely on him to be perfect. So yeah, that's my little thing to say. And moral of the story is, if you're finding yourself struggling to fit in with friendships, and you're finding yourself struggling in that whole concept of, I am new to this, I don't know what I'm doing here at Elevate, the point is not to find a good group of people to hang out with. It's always a bonus, so I would recommend finding people to hang out with, and I'm always a person you can hang out with until I leave. God is the friend that you're looking for, and he is so good and so mighty. And for the record, little spoiler alert, my dad is cancer-free completely now, so twice done. Woo! Okay, well, thank you for your time, Elevate. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you guys have a great night, and I'm sad I can't be there.